I'm going to be honest, I've been dreading this review. RWBY Volume 4, Episode 5, Menagerie, is the worst episode of RWBY in a pretty long time. Now, there wasn't anything that fueled me with rage like the last time we've dealt with Blake, but there also wasn't anything as good as Yang's PTSD moments. So the good first. Sun is an idiot, but at least he's endearing. I like the diversity the generic background models have. I like how Blake explains Menagerie to Sun and talks about its past. It does a good job establishing why it isn't considered a kingdom and what dangers lie out beyond its borders. Gira and Callie are a lot of fun. Honestly, Gira is more what I thought Tai was going to be like until I found out that Tai is an absolute savage. Callie is also fun. They play well off each other even though they don't play off each other, but I can see how they would. I'm glad that they knew Blake was at Beacon. I think that between the Black trailer and Volume 1 she went home and they helped her get into Beacon. It also helps the scene from Volume 2 where Ozpin is interrogating Blake. That scene already made sense because Ozpin always knows exactly what the plot needs him to know, but it's nice to have another good reasoning. Finnick and Corsac are also a lot of fun. They seem to be kind of zealots. I also love their names. I love all the new characters' names. Finnick as in Finnick Fox, Corsac as in Corsac Fox, Gira as in Bagheera from Jungle Book, Callie as in Calico, and shut up, it's spelled differently than the Hindu deity. I like how this is the first mother-daughter interaction we've got. Way to expand on the volume's core theme. I like the dialogue. I didn't laugh, at all. But it was nice to see that old cliche given the RWBY treatment. Let's just hope they don't overdo it. Alright, so something I want to contemplate. Sienna Khan needs Gira on good terms. Gira was going to find out one way or another. Best to smooth things over. Also, note that the Albanes are going to notify Adam and not Sienna. So there may very well be a power struggle there. Now for the bad. God, everyone is wearing the idiot hat in this episode. Gira doesn't know that the White Fang are bad. Okay, I get it. And it's nice to see the CCT being down actually having an impact on the story. You big, burly brute, you saw what happened to Vale on the CCT before it crashed. Granted, Cinder had control over the system and only showed the world what she wanted them to see. But what about the breach? What about those board members being executed Weiss mentioned in Volume 1? You can't honestly be surprised that mere weeks after a Grim invasion orchestrated by the White Fang, there would be another Grim invasion involving the White freaking Fang! And wow, Blake, you aren't any better. Didn't you come here to hide from the White Fang? Isn't that why you got mad at Sun? So are you telling me Sun was right and you got mad at him for no reason? Or are you just that thick? That and I really still don't like Blake. Everything I said in my last review still holds ground. She had no reason to hide this from her friends. She had no reason to lie, especially after they all opened up to her. It turns all her interactions with Weiss in Volume 1 on their heads. Maybe that mansion is like the White House. Maybe they even do let a lot of people stay in the rooms like good little Samaritans. Maybe Blake never really lived there because by the time they got it, she was traveling with the White Fang. But she has the gall to chastise Weiss based on her heritage, and she's basically the princess of Menagerie. On that note, no. After a few days thinking it over, it does not make sense for someone as educated as Weiss, especially with her strong connection to the group, to not know about the former leader of the White Fang. The change of hands happened 5 years prior to the start of the series. It would have certainly been on the news. It's not like she has a different last name or anything. You know what? Even if for whatever reason Weiss didn't know, it still doesn't make sense. Someone would know. Someone would out her. Oobleck would certainly know and question why Blake wears the bow. But I already said why the bow never made sense to begin with and should have been thrown away halfway through Volume 2. And wow, son, who would have thought that an island inhabited nearly entirely by faunas would have White Fang activity? Oh, son, I can't be mad at you. If your failure to recognize basic combat advantages is an indication, then you're actually staying in character. And you, Callie, actually, I got nothing. Keep being a great mom because someone should. Although you're a Black Sun shipper, so you'll probably get unwarranted flack anyway. In the end, there just isn't a lot to this episode. It's way too short. The least likable major character gets all the screen time. I regret to inform you that this episode sucks. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. And even after less than a day of first seeing the episode, my opinion was pretty low. Menagerie is right between Breach and Shining Beacon on my episode rankings now. I'm Mediocrity 4. Next episode is mid-season, which usually means it's going to be one of the best episodes. So here's hoping.